Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Girly Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Leighton. We have Brigitte, Cueter, Carino. All these are coming up and more after word from our sponsors. Please stay with us.
Even after the New York police made arrests on Tuesday, pro-Palestine supporters continue to make their voices heard at Columbia University. 2 weeks ago, Columbia sparked similar demonstrations at college campuses across the U.S., demanding a ceasefire in Gaza and for universities to divest from companies that support Israel's war efforts. Of the 112 arrests made at Columbia University on Tuesday, 80 were identified as individuals affiliated with the school, while 32 were unaffiliated. Filipino American National Historical Society President Dr. Kevin Nadal, a distinguished university professor and Columbia University alumnus, was at the encampment to show solidarity and support to the Filipino students participating in the protests.
The students really just want justice, and all they want is peace, and all they want is to ensure that their university funds do not go towards further violence and genocide and the killing of innocent people, especially children. They're very peaceful, and the students are exercising their right to protest, their right to their freedom of speech, and just using their voices to ensure that we can put an end to the genocide and all other violence in the world.
Dr. Nadal says the war in the Middle East should matter to Filipinos and Filipino Americans because of the Philippines' history with colonizers, Spain and the United States.
We suffered for hundreds of years as a result of that. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Filipinos were killed because of Spanish colonization, as well as the Philippine American War. We need to stand by them because we wished that maybe someone had stood up for us. And I think that is really important for Filipinos to recognize that while we might not currently be in a place where we are colonized in that traditional way, some might argue that we're still colonized, but in different ways, some including me. But I also think that that we just want to fight against any injustice that's happening in the world. And if we can do our parts to ensure that thousands of innocent lives aren't taken and people aren't being killed, then we have to take part in that social justice movement as well.
He encourages the students and the community to continue to stand up for justice and to play a part in changing history.
To all the students out there across the country, whether it's down the street at Columbia or in some of the places around the world, I salute you. I thank you. You are using your voices for what matters. You're using your power as a group, as a community, to fight against injustice and to fight against genocide. And for that, I hope you all realize that you are on the right side of history and to keep on going because we need you in order to make sure that this genocide ends.
The Makabayan bloc of lawmakers is not satisfied with the wage review ordered by President Marcos Jr. They urge the president to certify as urgent the passage of pending bills for a wage hike, saying the wage boards have failed to set a reasonable pay.
Matagal ng panahon na naghihirap sila sa hindi nakabubuhay at dissenting sweldo, no, na nakalagay naman yan sa ating konstitusyon. Living wage ang dapat na ibigay natin sa ating mga manggagawa.
Nakita natin hindi pa rin talaga seryosong umaaksyon ang Pangulo. Kaya nga niyang i-certify as urgent yung Baharlika eh. Pero ito malapit sa sigmura ng manggagawa, hindi man lang niya ma-certify as urgent. Isang perma lang niya ang kailangan para mangyari yan.
The Makabayan Bloc previously filed a bill for a 750 peso across-the-board wage hike for the private sector. A bill for a 150 wage hike is also pending in the House committee level. The Senate in February passed a 100 peso daily minimum wage hike, but the House has yet to pass its counterpart version.
Patuloy tayong kumakalap ng mga samot-saring opinyon, lalong-lalo na sa ibang mga sektor na may kaugnayan tungkol sa labor at sa ating mga employers. Ang gusto lang ho natin, maging maingat tayo, hindi maging padalos-dalos, sapagkat magiging sensitibo po ang usapin ng wage.
There really needs to be a proper balance na hindi naman din po natin sinasakripisyo din ang ating mga negosyante.
Labor Secretary Bienvenido Laguesma, who also serves as chairman of the National Wages and Productivity Commission, says a meeting has been set next week following the President's order.
We will adhere to this directive. Me as the National Wages and Productivity Commission Chair will ensure that this will be implemented. And in addition, the NWPC will be meeting next week to be able to really review, set the motion to review existing policies para mawala yung sinasabing uncertainties and be able to enhance fairness to the stakeholders.
While supporting the order of the President to the Wage Board, Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri appealed for the President's support for the Senate's 100 peso wage increase act, which he said will help workers amid the continued spike in the prices of goods. Senator Francis Escudero stated as much, as well as Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Pimentel III, who said that if the President had to request wage boards to review wage rates, the system must not be working and that the regional wage boards have become out of touch with the reality. Other senators also argued it's time to ensure salaries of workers are able to sustain their daily living. The Trade Union Congress of the Philippines is in favor of a legislated wage hike.
Kaya kami, pinipilit namin ang legislated wage increase para wage recovery lang ito, yung mga hindi na ibigay ng mga wage board. Kasi maliliit lang sila magbigay, hindi tumatama doon sa dapat ibigay. Gusto namin i-recover through legislated wage increase sa Congress, kaya 150 yun eh.
While the Employers Confederation of the Philippines prefers to leave the decision to the wage boards.
Ako nandun kahapon at happy naman kami dahil lagi naman namin sinasabi, basta dumadaan sa tripartite wage board commission, kung ano man yan, yan ang pinaka-balansyado, pinaka-objective way to do it.
6 months before the filing of certificates of candidacy for aspirants in the 2025 midterm elections, discussions are underway for possible alliances and coalitions between President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s Partido Federal ng Pilipinas and other political parties.
We have organized a steering committee. We will then go and make our alliances with the different parties. Of course, nandyan ng lakas, NPC, NP, NUP, lalong-lalo sa House. I have spoken to the leaders of the other parties. And as far as I can tell, mukha naman, willing naman lahat ng tao na makipag-usap.
Some members of the Lakas CMD party at the House of Representatives expressed support for the president's pronouncement, but noted that they will defer to the decision of party leaders. Lakas CMD is led by the president's cousin, House Speaker Martin Romualdez, who has yet to issue a statement regarding the possible alliance or coalition.
It is really just appropriate na under this, I guess, a coalition alliances between the parties, di ba po, na we continue on that path of unity for the sake of progress, for the sake of development in our country.
Lahat ng LEDAC priority measures, lahat po ng mga SONA priority measures ay naipasa po dito sa House at hindi po mangyayari yon kung hindi po na-unite ng ating Speaker, ng ating Presidente, yung iba't ibang mga partido sa House of Representatives.
Some members of the Nacionalista Party at the lower chamber are also open to an alliance with the president's party.
Hindi naman hadlang na makipag-alyansa ang aming partido sa partido ng ating Pangulo dahil ang common agenda ay ang serbisyo at demokrasya para sa bansa.
Magandang balita yan sa amin kasi ibig sabihin nun, kaisa namin ang presidente.
Nationalist People's Coalition Chairman and former Senate President Vicente Soto III confirmed that he had initial talks with a representative of the president, but it has yet to be formalized. President Marcos Jr. says forming alliances with national parties seem easier than with regional parties.
Pagka tayo ay nag-coalition o nag-alliance, siyempre, siguro sa national, madali siguro makapag-agree. Pero sa pag-local, yun ang medyo komplikado kung minsan ng sitwasyon.
Vice President Sara Duterte's regional party, Hugpong ng Pagbabago, is not among the parties the PFP is talking to for a possible alliance, but they are welcome to join, according to PFP National President and South Cotabato Governor Reynaldo Tamayo Jr. He adds that the uni team, or the campaign tandem between President Marcos and VP Duterte, is still there.
Ang uni team, nanatiling andyan, uni team. Pero yung agreement nag-end right after election. So ibig sabihin magbubuo ulit ng bagong agreement. Every party are welcome to join Partido Federal ng Pilipinas. Even Hugpong kung kinakailangan na they are willing to join. Okay naman.
President Marcos Jr. targets to finalize his party's alliances and coalitions before the COC filing in October. He led the oath-taking of 33 new members of the PFP on Wednesday.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
ViaTimes, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. ViaTimes for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. ViaTime has very interesting columnists. You name it, ViaTimes has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call ViaTimes at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Welcome to Veronica segment of this show. Today, I have a very interesting, exciting, and very young and pretty, believe it or not, fashion designer. And her name is Miss Kirstine, right? Kirstine Brigado. Welcome to our show, Kirstine. And
Thank you.
And Kirstine will be seen by many of our Chicago audience on May 11th. She'll be coming here in Chicago and she'll be talking about the event on May 11th. Hi, Christine. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me, Vero. And I'm so excited to be in Chicago in few weeks from now. I can't wait to experience the beautiful Windy City.
Yes, this will be your first time to be here?
My very first time, and I'm very excited to be there.
You will love it, Christine. And okay, first thing, please tell our viewing audience about yourself. Christine is internationally renowned Filipino American fashion designer. And believe it or not, it's international and it's not just local. Christine, welcome to our show. Okay, please tell our viewing audience about yourself.
So hello, my name is Kristen Regalado. I'm a president of Miss Worldwide International, and I'm also national, one of the director of our Miss Worldwide International Foundation. I'm a fashion designer. I dress women. I want to bring I bring beauty into the world. I think my goal here is to make them happy and beautiful. That's just I want to do in my life.
Okay, very good, Christine. Well, you have been known as a very popular and very successful fashion designer, dressing up beauties worldwide, like candidates for Miss Universe. Okay, uh, tell us, how did you get started doing this kind of work that makes you so popular internationally?
So when I was a young girl, I liked to dress my friends in a mock pageant. I I just love to train my little friends. I trained them in interview, how to walk on the stage. It all started when going back in the Philippines, when you have no internet, nothing, you really have to invent and reinvent yourself. So that's how I gathered them. I got my inspiration from nature, and at the same time, I just wanna make people happy. Well, going into Miss Universe, I have a lot of national director friends that's connected to Miss Universe. For example, Miss Universe Iceland, Jorge, he is my best friend, my longtime friends. I know him for over 20 years. And when they already started the Miss Universe Iceland, they book me and they keep on renewing our contract, and I am the official fashion designer of Miss Universe Iceland for 7 years. Also St. Lucia. I did Armenia. Of course, our Philippines. I designed a viral gown for Rabia Mateo during 2014. And who else? I think I also dressed Bahamas and Australia.
Okay, Christine, um, well, as a young girl, you talk about yourself as a young girl, but when you were going to school, you enrolled in a class that's really very different from fashion designing, and that is medical technology. So how did you get yourself into fashion designing from there?
Well, it's really usual when you have your Asian mom. She say, "Hey, you be a doctor, you be a lawyer," and I decided, okay, maybe I'm gonna be a doctor. So, but my strength is more on sketching and drawing, and I really have a vivid imagination. I think that's my gift. So during our times when I was a med tech, we do have our biology class, our hematology class. So I have a very high score in sketching actually and drawing. And sometimes when I absorb all the information from our class, and I'm the kind of person who's always like the first one to finish. So I like to sketch my teacher and I like to draw her what's good for her, what kind of wardrobe. And that really inspired me a lot. And at the same time, I said, okay, I think I gotta marry a doctor. And I'm not gonna be a doctor anymore. But of course, in our life, being a fashion designer, you really want to give back. You really wanna help your community. It's really something that is in my heart. If I can't be a doctor, I want to do something else to our community. So being a fashion designer, we did a lot of fashion shows that were able to connect with the community. Like nonprofit organizations. We partner with nonprofit organizations. So we really we're able to raise a lot of funds for them and bring back actually to our country, especially in the Philippines.
So you did not become a doctor yourself, but you married a physician. You're now married to a doctor and you're now living in New York. Okay, so where did you start in your, actually, I know you got started in the Philippines with your dream of becoming a fashion designer. Now that you're a New York resident, you are more exposed to many fashion designers in that area. So is that one of your motives in living there?
Well, I'm actually based in Miami, Florida. We're here. I just traveled to New York for New York Fashion Week.
Oh, I see. You
Yes.
you live in Miami, Florida. Okay, I thought you were a New Yorker, but Miami is also very very popular and a well-known destination for high fashion.
Yes.
You enjoy it there?
Oh, I love here because in Miami, we're a mix of cultures. A mile from here, you'll see from different countries. We're like a melting pot here. So every corners you'll see inspiration here, and of course nature. I love nature.
Okay, very good. Tell us, how big is your business of fashion designing?
We're doing actually really positive. When I first came here in America, we have a mentor. Her name is Rose Martinez. She's in the pageant world. She's a former Miss America, locally here in Miami, and of course with the pageant, you'll be needing evening gowns, interview, costume, wardrobe, all this kind of competition. And I don't know anyone here when I arrived here, and she helped me. And I actually asked her and I said, Miss Rose, why you're helping me? You don't know me. And she said that I like you because you're a Filipino. And the Filipinos helped us during the war. They're one of the first countries that responded and helped America. I think that is the first start that she helped me nonstop. Whenever there's event, she refer me, she trained me. So my background is more on, I started from backstage, like letting the candidates walk, what's happening behind the scene. And I also dressed them in national costume, evening gown. And that is the start where I dress hundreds of beauty queens that won the title. So she also trained me how to do interviews, and I am able to strategize what is best for a candidate to win a crown. And it's also important. I think it's also about leadership. When you're a great leader, what is your platform? That will help enhance your you're winning towards the crown. And of course, how you present yourself, how you answer question, I think that is very important for me. So I have this very intensive training from my mentor.
All right, terrific. And have you had modeling experience yourself, Christine?
So yes, Vero. So when I was back in the Philippines, I was actually already married when somebody it's from Sari Sari store. There is how would I say this? Durante Paris. So she supply shoes from Sari Sari store. So my first modeling experience, is to walk on the runway with her collections. And it was in the shoe, because she told me that, the camera, they always focus on the shoe first and then the gown. And she said, you have to start from the shoes. And I love your pair of feet. I love that. So I was like qualified. And I think that's the start of my modeling career as well. It was fun, a very good experience.
Terrific. How about your formal education in fashion designing? Are you a graduate of a school in the Philippines for that?
So my formal education is about science. So I graduated Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And actually, my training is more intensive because I work firsthand with fashion designers. So one of my mentor is the third generation Gucci. He mentored me. His name is Oberto. He gave me all the tips. He gave me how to survive in the business. And at the same time, I already have this gift in sketching. So Oberto, the first thing that Oberto told me is, first thing is never compare yourself to others, because he said your design, the way you look at the design, he said, I like it. And he said, just don't follow the trend. That's what he told me. And he always, like, whenever I need something, when I need some consultation, he's always there available. So I have a direct line with them. And actually, during the birthday of her unica hija, Drusilla, 21 years old in Italian culture, is like our quinceañera in the Philippines, or the 18th birthday, or quinceañera, the quince here in our Miami culture. He asked me if I can design 2 gowns for her unica hija, Drusilla. And he's very happy. Actually, one of the gowns, he donated it back, and he said, you can auction it in your charity. But he's very happy. He said the way I create the dress is very clean.
All right, terrific. Okay, Kirstine, let's talk about the upcoming event here in Chicago. And you have a list of really exciting personalities that are coming with you. Can you please tell us about this?
So our master of ceremony is U.S. Navy Commander, former Department of Defense from Pentagon, U.S. Commander Jessica McNulty. She's flying from Washington, D.C. So Commander McNulty, she's been modeling with me, so we really have a very positive relationship. And she's also a cancer survivor. And that's one reason that when we requested her to please come support us in Chicago, she said, yes, I'll be there. I'll go wherever you go. So this is a very a strong event. So another MC is Donita Rose. She is an actress, former VJ and MTV, and also a celebrity chef. So she's a Filipino American actress, and we're very happy she's flying from California. And also we have Asia's top model, Maureen Rubble-Witch. She's been in the movies many times. And I also met her director, Mr. Kuya Danny Aguilar. So they will definitely come and support, and she will be walking on our show as well. And of course, our Miss Alaska. We have Alaska, our queen Teen Alaska, Lindsay May Adams. She will be there. We have from Virginia, Pennsylvania, and of course our team from Florida, our princesses, are also coming. And we have Nickelodeon actress. She's also, I think her movie is coming up from Disney, Pixar. Her name is Lilimar Hernandez. And Lilimar, she's been my princess since she was 9 years old. And she really became famous. And she's an international actress as well. So she's going to your town, to your city.
Wow. Really, this really sounds very exciting for the people of Chicago. And well, I know that it has been a talk of the town. And so can you please state further some more information, like how many people are coming, etc., and where it's going to be held?
So a Walk for a Cause is a fundraising event. It's our inaugural, it's an inaugural launching of Miss Worldwide International Foundation Incorporated. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization, non-political, all volunteer organization. The president is Mr. Michael John Regalado, and our board of directors will be there as well. So the mission is to support underprivileged children with cancer patients, and also children with special needs. So our goal is to provide educational scholarship assistance, and of course to support the indigent students and to train our future leaders. There's gonna be different team that's coming from Florida, Washington, all over the country. I think this is gonna be big, including Ohio and New England. So of course, Alaska. And actually the majority of our guests are coming from Chicago. So we are here to make a very good announcement that we are also, since Miss Worldwide International Foundation is partner with Miss Worldwide International, we are also opening our doors to Chicago, that we are accepting princesses if they want to apply for Miss Worldwide International Princess Teen Miss, in order to represent their city, and of course from different the state as well. Also, since we have many reasons to celebrate this month of May, it's going to be Mother's Day. It's also to celebrate our nurses. It's going to be Nurses Week as well. You know, we owe so much to our healthcare professionals. So we welcome doctors, nurses, patients, and also cancer survivors to walk on our runway. It's also, I have to remember, Asian American Heritage Month. We're going to celebrate that as well. So there will be organizations that will be coming to our event. So this is the perfect time to come, enjoy, celebrate, be a model. We're opening our doors to those who would like to be a model. If this is one of your bucket list, that you haven't been a model, you haven't walked in a fashion show, this is the perfect time to come and support a great cause.
Great, terrific. Wow, it sounds exciting. But okay, one last question. Why did you choose Chicago for this fundraising event this time?
This is, for me, Chicago is very special. There's a lot of cultures. I want to experience your culture. I want to get more inspiration from Chicago. And of course, aside from me, it's gonna be my first time. I can feel the warmth and also the hospitality of the people there. Where in fact the mayor of Schaumburg already sent us a welcome letter. So this is like, all right, and of course you're based in Chicago, Vero. I want to see you in person. And of course the people, you're all welcome. I love to be connected with Chicago.
All right, Christine, we also would love to get connected with you. Okay, will you be selling some of your clothes after the show?
Yes, so we're gonna have a rack sale. So the rack sale is gonna be, we're putting the price down, which is gonna be super affordable. I also have my custom-made shirt. If you want to have a remembrance after the fashion show, it's going to be open. And the proceeds will go to our Miss Worldwide International Foundation to help support our good cause.
All right, Christine. Oh, I love your t-shirt. I'd like to have one.
Yes, I'm going to give you free. It's going to be my complimentary for you.
Thank you. All right. It was really great interviewing you. I know we just have a short time. So I look forward to more interviews with you. And welcome to Chicago on May 11. And good luck. good health, and congratulations to you, and hope to see you in person on that day. Thank you very much for gracing our show today. Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat, Christine, at maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, Christine. Bye. 11.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very interesting, exciting personality in this interview, and she's from the Shed Aquarium. And please help me welcome Miss Maggie Cooper.
Hello, hi, thank you for having me.
Maggie is the manager of conservation action at Shed Aquarium. Welcome to our show, Maggie.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Happy weekend. And I invited you to this interview today because of the Earth Day's observance. All over the world. And okay, a part of this observance is the problem about plastic pollution. Okay, why is plastic pollution is such a big problem all over the world, Maggie?
That is a really great question. And I think anyone everywhere in the entire world has occurred a problem with single-use plastic at some point in their life. The issue with plastic is that once it's created, it never goes away. So around 96% of the plastics that has ever been created still exists somewhere on our earth today. The issue is that it's not recyclable like other materials are. Plastic is made, and every time you go and try and recycle it, it loses a little bit of its integrity. And so rather than taking a plastic bottle and recycling it back into a plastic bottle, you can take a plastic bottle and maybe recycle it into something like the fibers that you make your clothes out of, or you can recycle it into a plastic bench. But ultimately, it's still out there and it still exists, and it continues to deteriorate and contribute things called microplastics, most significantly into our waterways when it gets into that form. And when those microplastics get into our water, it's damaging to wildlife, it's damaging to us and our drinking water, it's damaging to our ecosystems. And really, once it's there, it's not going away. So the problem with plastics is that it's persistent and it's harmful to us and to wildlife and to the habitats that these wildlife call home.
So we're talking all kinds of plastic so far, plastic bottles, and well, we're surrounded by a lot of plastics actually in our, it's always there in our surroundings. So what can people do?
It's a great question. Yeah, you're right. It's there. It's everywhere. And we know that, I think in the Great Lakes alone, over 22 million pounds of plastic enter the Great Lakes every single year. And about half of that is right here in Lake Michigan. So right in our backyard, we know that 11 million pounds of plastic are entering the lake. what we can do is we can do a couple different things here. One is we can help to clean it up once it gets out there. So a really fun part of my job is I get to do these different volunteer events to get people out and excited to take action for their local environments. So all summer long, Shed Aquarium and my team host beach cleanups, river cleanups, all throughout a couple different areas in the city of Chicago through our Action Days program. So we take people out. We facilitate a beach cleanup with them or a river cleanup, and we are removing litter that would otherwise end up in the lake and stay in the lake and would end in our drinking water. And not only are we picking up trash, but we're documenting every single thing that we're finding. So as we know more about what is out there, what type of trash is out there, we can think if we're finding 20 million plastic forks, for example, what could we do to help stop that from getting there in the first place? So we use this data and we share it with other nonprofits, other organizations to find a way to use this to leverage policy to help stop it from getting there in the first place. Because as much as I love doing a beach cleanup, it would be really, really great if I didn't have to do them for the rest of my career or for the rest of the next generation's careers. So we want to not just be out there picking it up, but we want to be reducing it as well. So we're encouraging people to avoid their use of single-use plastics, swap for reusables, and again, help to advocate for some of these things to stop from getting there in the first place, which we can talk a little bit more about that if you have more questions.
Is there some kind of a processing so that the plastic can be processed into something that's worthwhile for humanity?
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting ways that people are trying to do just that. But like I mentioned, it's not like aluminum, for example. You can take an aluminum can, melt it down, and turn it right back into an aluminum can. You can't do that with plastic because it uses a lot of its value, and more so, it's cheaper to make new plastic than it is to make recycled plastic. So from an economical standpoint, it doesn't necessarily make sense. There's not that push to really drive us as a society, as a country, towards recycled plastics. It's just not the way the system is set up currently. So truly the best thing we can do is help to stop reduce it. So there's a lot of conversation right now, both at the state level, city level, and federal levels, to find different policies to enact that we can help advocate for and get people on board for helping us to reduce the use of plastics. Because ultimately, reduction is the best way when it comes to mitigating our plastic crisis.
So what are the immediate steps that the government is taking?
Yes, there
pollution.
Yeah, so a couple immediate things that are going on right now, there's a couple exciting bills right now in the state of Illinois. Currently, we have a plastic bag tax here in Chicago, 7 cents per bag every time you use it, which is effective to a degree. But currently, there is a bill that is going through our government to ban plastic bags in general. So it'd be kind of like if you've ever gone to an Aldi grocery store, they don't even have plastic bags. You have to use your reusables or like a plastic box, or excuse me, a paper box that they have there. So it would eliminate that plastic bag tax, but make it a bag in general on plastic bags, which is great because we know plastic bags, that flimsy type of plastic, isn't recyclable at all. There's another policy in place right now to ban styrofoam, polystyrene filament, like you might have in a shipping box that you might have to help keep things from moving. There is a bill going through the state right now to help ban that as well. So people, if anyone's interested in being involved in that, they can write letters to their representatives and urge them to move these policies ahead to help them put into place to help stop the harm from these plastics in our environments. And people can sign up for Surge through Shed Aquarium, where we send out alerts monthly with ways that people can sign up and send emails to their representatives to get those things going.
Well, if we get rid of the plastic pollution, how would the earth, how do you look at how the earth would look like, or how would the population react to that?
That's a really great question because it's so hard to even like imagine what that would be like, right? A world without plastic. I think our wildlife would be beyond happy. Unfortunately, we see a lot of entanglement in our Great Lakes of wildlife that get caught up in plastics that are strays. We know that wildlife eats and ingests plastics, and they're eating food so they think they're full, but they're not getting any nutrients. So it ultimately causes them to die of starvation. So I think we'd see less of a stress on our wildlife populations. We'd see a more beautiful city and a more enjoyable ecosystem for us to enjoy. There's a lot that I think is unknown right now of the effects of plastic on our own human health that I'm scared to see what's going to happen in that. But we know we're finding microplastics in our bodies. So I'm hopeful that we start to see a downward trend in this before things get too far down. And I think there's a lot of hope. I think a lot of people are excited and energized to take these actions to help these things move along. And I'm so grateful that I get to do this as part of my job and get people excited about these things.
Great, terrific, nice to hear. I'm really happy to hear that the Shred Aquarium is taking steps in help preventing the plastic pollution. And congratulations to what you're doing in your job. And please keep us updated, Maggie.
Sure.
You're doing a great job. And for how long have you worked for Shed Aquarium?
I actually this week just celebrated my 6-year anniversary at Sheds. I've been here for 6 years.
Great for you. You like your job?
Oh, I love it. It gets me outside. It gets me meeting other really amazing people in the Chicagoland area who are excited about the same things I'm excited about. Or my favorite is when I meet someone who's not excited about the things I'm excited about, but then I get them excited about it. So it's a really fun opportunity to connect with people all throughout the city.
Great, great. I thank you, Maggie, Miss Maggie Cooper.
Thank you, Veronica.
Facing our show today and getting us updated on the problem about the plastic pollution in our area, not only in our area, all over the world. All right. Okay. Keep us updated. Will you please?
Absolutely. You got it.
Thank you once again. Thank you for appearing in our show. At maraming salamat. Thank you. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. At enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, Maggie. Bye.
Bye, Veronica. Thank you.
This is a prayer and a reminder. All we have is now. Anak, umuwi ka na.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Hi. I can't hug you. Don't touch me.
Over the last several days, we have seen peaceful demonstrations.
Protests over police brutality continued here in Austin.
Remember when you started going to college? You came home a liberal?
Dad, please.
That's what we do to you guys in this court.
All these people that we never met and never will meet because of what had happened to them. It's just too much.
The way that our family communicates is not necessarily, it's not great.
What advice would you give for those of us that are struggling?
Deal with it.
I think the norm for our communities has been to just stay silent and keep to your own business.
I could definitely be doing more than I'm doing right now, and I know that others can as well.
What if someone is called from God to be an activist?
I can answer that question.
Shouting revolution, oh wow, breaking each tradition.
You don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement?
An advocacy group reporting at least 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents since last March.
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm like, maybe I should move home and be here with them.
I hope that this moment makes you take a step forward and a step together in the right direction.
In order for a subject to not be taboo in our community, there always has to be someone to start that conversation.
You speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I've seen you do that for other people.
I see a lot of people who just kind of cut off friends and family, and I don't think I can do that. I love my parents.
This is a symbol of our voices. If you look at your neighbors around you, you will see who stands with you, who stands for you.
At least I know that you can stand up. That's the thing I'm so happy about.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po.
Good afternoon, this is Brigitte, Carino, Cueter, bringing you this week's local news from our community. Democrat legislators have introduced the Metropolitan Mobility Authority Act, which would establish a new, fully integrated agency to deliver transit service throughout northeastern Illinois. At a news conference, Governor J.B. Pritzker said there will have to be changes made to the transit system to address a funding cliff and how to better operate the transit systems in the region. Pritzker's budget proposal calls for a diversion of $175 million in state taxpayer money committed to fund things like bridge repair and road improvement. Those taxpayer funds would be diverted to primarily Chicago-based public transit systems. The Illinois Housing Development Authority has announced more than $123 million in state and federal resources have been awarded by the agency to finance permanent supportive housing throughout Illinois. Awarded under Round X of IHDA's Permanent Supportive Housing Development Program, this funding represents the largest ever annual award made by the state to fund housing and services for individuals at risk of homelessness, those living with disabilities, or other vulnerable populations. Funds will be used for the construction or rehabilitation of 14 developments containing 392 units of affordable housing that will be integrated with flexible supportive services designed to help residents maintain their housing stability, health, and independence. Everyone deserves a safe and stable place to call home, said Governor J.B. Pritzker. That's why Illinois is making historic investments in homelessness prevention and housing services. By financing 14 supportive housing developments statewide, we are strengthening our permanent housing infrastructure to help vulnerable communities access holistic resources they need. On May 1st, hundreds of Asian American community leaders will kick off Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month with a rally at the Illinois State Capitol. The rally will feature community testimonies calling on lawmakers to pass the Language Equity and Access Act, fully fund immigrant services, create progressive revenue streams to generate new funding solutions for the state, and invest in the implementation of K-12 history requirements. Asian immigrant communities disproportionately face difficulties accessing public health and government services due to language barriers, an issue only exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Asian Americans continue to be the fastest growing racial demographic in Illinois and the country, and are flexing their growing political power to address issues like language access facing Asian, immigrant, and other marginalized communities. April is Alcohol Awareness Month in the United States. Alcohol Awareness Month aims to raise awareness about the dangers of excessive alcohol consumption through activities, events, educational materials, and conversations to create effective strategies for preventing alcohol-related problems. One of the ILCC's priorities is to educate the public, and especially the youth, about the risk factors associated with abusing alcohol and underage drinking. If we can save one young person from the dangers of alcohol, then all the work and energy we put into promoting alcohol awareness is worth it, said Illinois Liquor Control Commission Executive Director Lisa Gardner. The White House Initiative on Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders, and the Smithsonian Asian Pacific American Center are proud to present our joint 2024 theme for Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, Bridging Histories, Shaping Our Future. Since the late 1970s, our country has recognized the invaluable contributions of AA and NHPI communities each May. For more than a decade, the Smithsonian Asian Pacific American Center and WHI-AAN NHPI have collaborated to identify a national theme for AA and NHPI Heritage Month in consultation with the White House and community partners. Previous themes such as I Am Beyond 2014 and Visible Together 2023 have been warmly embraced, both by federal agencies and community-serving organizations, and have served as catalysts for meaningful dialogue around AA and NHPI identity. The 2024 theme is an homage to our ancestors and invites all Americans to delve into the legacies, triumphs, and challenges that have shaped AA and NHPI communities. It embodies the spirit of our collective journey, one rooted in resilience and hope, and encourages us to forge intergenerational connections to honor our past and pave a durable path forward. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Brigitte. See you next time.
It's more fun in the Philippines.